more heartfelt, and he told me to play Waymaker in the shower earlier and just reflect on his goodness, because sometimes in life we just get I'll explain later, there's a lot going on, a lot of changes, a lot of shifting, a lot of distractions, a lot of things in life that we get caught up. And this morning he just really reminded me what the goal is, what the mission is, what the vision is, what the purpose of this whole thing is really about. And I'm sorry. I'm so humbled that he chose me.
Yes.
So I'll start. As a young child at the age of around 5 years old, I was very hyperactive. So my family decided to bring me to Stony Brook psychiatric medical care. They didn't have a lot of information about the side effects of heavy-duty controlled stimulant medication. I was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 5, like I told you. Started getting a lot of twitches, side effects, weight loss, dark circles, very pale, was losing a lot of weight. It helped me to do better in school, and I guess just calm down so I could get through the school day, and so I could pass my tests and get my homework done and things of that nature. So I don't blame them for what they did at all whatsoever. And just recapping just the struggle of life and just how it all began, you know. Actually my mom had an emergency C-section while Hurricane Gloria was happening, and parts of the roof were blowing off the hospital at my birth. And thank God, you know, I made it out and it was an emergency. But so years later, I started taking this medication, and just there was some struggles from a young age with that. But I believe that God made everyone differently with different abilities, and in different ways they can use that to do different things, and that we're all just made uniquely. I'm not against, like I'm saying, I'm not against or for medication. Everybody's different. But in my story, it just did a lot. I always felt different from other kids. I always felt like I didn't fit in. Being called out to go to the nurse's office, and why can't I just be quote unquote normal? I just didn't feel like other kids my age because of all this. It could have just been something I internalized and took it in a more personal way because I was so young. But it's intimidating. Someone that looks like 6 foot tall and you're a little kid, and they just have a clipboard and they're evaluating everything you do, taking tests behind what looks to be mirrors, but I know that they're windows that I'm being watched at through, so that I could be part of the numbers on the pamphlet for the people picking up the Ritalin today at CVS. So that's why I got $20 to take tests, so they could test and see what the side effects were, because they didn't know. This was kind of new at that time, and being promoted. Like I said, not for or against anything, it was just a lot. It did a lot to me, I think, to my self-esteem. I just didn't know better. But my parents did the best they could, and I love them. They're amazing. So then, you know, years go by. I just decided I didn't want to take it anymore. I didn't want to feel like a zombie. I wanted to come back to myself. So I started throwing out these yellow pills at the bus stop, lying to my parents, telling them I took it. And I'm off the walls, and my mother's like, "Did you take it today?" Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's like, I don't think you're taking that stuff anymore. So that kind of faded out because I became of age to really just make decisions for myself. I said, I don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to feel, I want to figure out who I really am. I think that's what I was looking for this whole time in this journey, even before Christ. We all want to know our identity, who we really were created to be, right? So there was just this falseness I wanted to get off. Later on that came. But so then at the age of 16, I met my first real boyfriend. I wasn't raised Christian, so we had a relationship, right? But the problem was I was 15, he was 21. I didn't realize that was illegal. And over time, he just became very emotionally and physically abusive. So I was just putting up with it because I didn't know any better, and I think I had low self-worth and low self-esteem at the time. So 5 years off and on that was going on. It was like an off and on again thing. But it kind of spun me off the handle emotionally because my parents were getting a divorce around that time, and my whole foundation just began to get very shaky. There wasn't really a foundation to stand on, looking back. I didn't have many people to speak into my life about faith or anything like that. I was just trying to find like a worldly foundation, something to stand on and just focus on worldly goals and stuff like that, but I never could quite grasp it. The goal of the day was just hanging out with the cool kids and again smoking cigarettes with them, doing things I never was thinking I would be doing. And so that first boyfriend offered me weed, and I thought in my head, don't do this. You know, it's crazy because even the Holy Spirit was there then, and something in me said, don't take it, don't do this. But I went against it after a lot of peer pressure, so a door opened, and then after that, he offered me cocaine. I didn't want to do that either, but I just felt pressured, and he was very controlling, so I just went along with the flow of everything around 16 and on. So by the time I was 18, I was cutting school. It was by the grace of God I even graduated, and I was tired of the way that I was being treated, so I thought that maybe if I worked in places that are non-traditional, I could just I wanted to live a fast life. I wanted fast money. I wanted to numb the pain of those feelings that I'm describing. So I saw an ad in a paper, and I started working in these clubs, making cash, making money at a young age too quickly, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I just kept buying more and more cocaine was the first thing. And I just that was my lifestyle. It was wake up, get the drugs, go to work at the club at night, and it gave me a false sense of empowerment, and I just felt like that was going to boost my self-esteem, doing a lot of things that I'm definitely not proud of today, meeting up with